This podcast is part of the Zeo to Hero podcast network.
You stay right here.
The world is very lucky to have you, and so am I. May the power protect you always.
We heard the voices. We can hear them. We can touch them. We're gonna find out who they really are.
Well, now that's a terrible idea. I'm gonna do that one more time because I felt like I sloshed it.
And I wish we could just, I don't know, I wish that Hasbro could just be like, hey, look at these people having ideas. And if we get maybe a couple like professionals to sort of clean it, make sure it's like actually gonna, not so these people like fans don't go too crazy off the deep end on something.
Right.
But I wish that they would do it and just say, all right, that's a cool idea. We could pay some people to animate this, and get it done. It's
Billy, tweet X at them with that.
Tweet who?
Tweet Hasbro with that. Be like,
oh yeah,
kids of the grids, man. Like a
I'll do
Bluey
that.
show
I got
about the kids of Power Rangers, and like the Power Rangers stuff's kind of the background, but they mostly talk about kid stuff. But like it's kind of like Bluey, where it's like more adult things. Like you can write paragraphs on Twitter now, right?
Almost, yeah.
Oh yeah, you got this.
Yeah.
You got this in the back. We're fine.
I don't know. I see it and I think, if they don't want to do anything with it, like let somebody do something with it.
Some people are having kind of thoughts that Hasbro might be going bankrupt.
Yeah, because they were cutting employees and stuff.
Yeah. They have a whole Hasbro building that's just abandoned now. Like they pulled everyone. So it's kind of a worrisome feeling.
Hasbro's been in the company, like been in the game for so long. They're never going to go under.
I don't think they will, but. Welcome to another hilarious episode of Zeo to Hero, where I'm Billy, and I'm always joined by my brother Jim. And tonight, we're just going to break right into it. We have a returning guest, the man that knows everything about the Mountain Dews and Power Rangers.
Wait, before we also have internet problems tonight. Well, you do. That's a you problem, but continue. Oh,
okay. So thanks, Casey, for joining us again. We got to get really into this episode because it's really fast because just past his best time. But here's my local pickups. And I'm only hitting the mic with the boxes because it's raining outside and I don't want to go outside. But I picked up a bunch of Funkos and stuff and some shirts. And I got this really cool shirt at this con I went to over the weekend. And it says Evangelion. Well, never mind. But anyways,
it's just a white shirt.
That's a bed sheet, sir.
It's a white shirt.
It says Evangelion Unit 1, and then they started making me watch Evangelion TV show and the movies. I picked up some Dragon Ball Z Funkos because apparently I'm collecting Dragon Ball Z Funkos, and then I picked up another one of the Ginyu Force members, and then I picked up some prints that I got for Demon Slayer prints that I'm going to frame and put up on the wall somewhere, and then I don't know what Jimmy bought, but Jim, good luck. I got a picture from Jen and Frank, got to meet her. That was cool. I'm not a physical touch person, but she likes to hug people, and she hugged me like 12 times in 10 minutes, so I don't know what to do.
So proud of you?
Yeah. Oh.
You can't, hugging, as much as, I'm not like a physical touch person, probably because I'm a big guy. So I know that if I went up and hug someone, they're going to be like, ooh, what a creep. Like, oh, this guy's creep. You know what I mean? You kind of have that perception. But when somebody comes up and they just hug you like over and over, it's like, it is one of the nicest feelings, really.
Yeah.
So it's like middle of winter and they're like, unzip your jacket and hug you. And they're like freezing cold. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
It's happened to me a lot.
Why me?
Mm-hmm. Just run out, unzip your jacket and just hug. And I'm like,
but this episode is not sponsored any form, shape, or way. But Casey, what are you sipping on tonight?
Oh, this is my favorite. It's Mountain Dew Spark Zero.
Oh,
and this is typically one of those things that they'll like. They go through different like specialty ones, and then they get rid of it for a while. They have not gotten rid of this one, and if they do, I'm going to be very upset because it's like my favorite. I like it better
Yeah.
than regular Mountain Dew. So it's like I hope they never get rid of it.
Spark and Frostbite are still in stores. I'm like, how is Frostbite still in stores? That one's the worst one.
Is it? Oh, well, I only do. I only do like sugar free. So if they don't have a zero version, I don't do it. But
that's a fair point, though. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Casey, thanks again for joining us tonight. Jim, what you got going on? I don't know what's Jim's going on over there.
I've got work going on.
Oh, did you know Jim actually retained his title for hide and seek champion for the 32nd year in a row?
You did.
Yeah, I'm real proud of it. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
That's right.
Yeah.
Still haven't found me.
Still haven't found him. So
Everyone found me. That was weird, but I don't think it counts. It's Amazon.
Well, Casey, what you've been up to? As you know, I follow your YouTube page.
Yeah,
and
thanks, man.
And I noticed that you had a video that you posted, and I noticed that video like blew up like overnight.
Yeah, I was actually surprised because there's videos that are going to get some more views, and I've done a Christmas special every year for like the last 2 years prior, and then this one was the third one, and I thought they never get views ever. I put so much effort into them, and then nothing ever happens. But I thought I just love doing these breakdown videos, so I thought, well, I'm going to do one anyway. So I did it on the Zeo Christmas, or actually I shouldn't say Christmas. It's more of a holiday special, but it's the episode where they have a flash forward of Tommy and Catherine, like in old age with their grandkids. And so I don't know. It just kind of blew up. I was surprised because again, the Christmas ones never get views, but people seem to like it. And, but yeah, it's the whole people for years and years hated the fact that they showed them married and old together with grandkids. And people just said like, oh, it's not real. It's just a stupid. And then all these things, they've continued that through the years and said, no, they are together. And they're, and they have JJ now and all that.
They have Solar Dragon JJ's in there. The Ninja, the Super Ninja Still episode. JJ's there, and so is Cat.
Yeah.
And once and always Cat references JJ. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's just kind of funny because, for years that episode came out and we didn't have the internet and most kids didn't have the internet and there was no way to really go back and dispute it besides people just saying it's not real. And
yeah.
And so it was a fun one, but I have the most fun with those because I look up like all the characters and the actors who played them. And I got to really dive into, there was this character named Raymond who was like, he was the Jewish, like his character was Jewish. And so that's he was only in like 3 episodes of Zeo. And that guy now works for Intel corporations. And I found him, like I looked him up. I was trying to find him with acting. I couldn't find a thing. And I randomly just thought, I'm going to type in this guy's name, but business. And I found him. And so,
oh wow!
And there's only like one video of him doing an interview for like a summit, business summit, and so I found that, and so that made me really happy that I found him. And then the guy who played the grandson at the end of the episode, who gets called with the communicator, I found him, and he's a pastor or was a pastor, and he just came out this year with a Christmas movie that. Because he's also into acting and theater, so he produced like a Christmas movie that's Christian based. But it was pretty. I don't know. It was just cool to see because he's not even listed on IMDb or anything. But I found him, so it was fun. It's fun to do that.
I had a laugh
you have to
when
watch the credits and pause it. Like, who's this person? Who's this person?
I laughed when you were talking about his Christian video because like. He produced it, but yeah, he was in it the whole time.
Yeah,
like he was like always in the background or something.
Yeah, I think he was like the main guy, and he did a video where he was playing basketball with kids, but he was being super intense about it, like making fun of the kids or telling the kid, like just really bad sportsmanship. And so yeah, it was just supposed to be like family friendly, goofy sort of thing. But
yeah.
So not 8 Crazy Nights.
No.
Yeah. No.
No. No.
Yeah,
So
it was.
So the question I have is why, Casey? Why do you think that the basically the little love triangle of Kim, Tommy, and Kat is such a hot topic now? Like years later.
I definitely want to do a video focused just on that because it is so interesting. Because I think that people, it comes down to people like Kimberly, and they don't like the fact that they didn't put Tommy and her together at the end.
Right.
And I don't know, because I think because we're all the same age, right? You guys are 32, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
34, but
or 34, sorry.
yeah.
But I really didn't. I mean, I watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, of course, but my brain really didn't start locking in and remembering things more until Zeo. I mean, because I was 2 when Power Rangers started, so it definitely I wasn't tied down to the Mighty Morphin thing. I was excited when new suits came out and a new season came out. So to me, I was almost more like locked into Kat than I was Kimberly as a kid.
Yeah.
So I don't have that I wish they would have ended up together feeling, because I didn't really care about Kimberly that much.
Right.
But there's people who do. They just really, really want them to end up together because they stopped watching after Mighty Morphin, and they don't like that they didn't end up together. Because
was Kat like only an episode, like 10 episodes, something like that? Like
she was only a ranger for like 9 or something, but she was actually in a lot of the season because they brought her in and had her be a part of the storyline up until they switched powers. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the fact people just don't like that they stopped watching and then it changed.
Yeah, right. Well, I had
change.
I had an idea that, not an idea, but it was more just, if it's in the Power Rangers TV show, if it's not a canon event, it's just basically like wish-wash, it's just kicked to the side. And I feel like that's a lot within the fandom itself.
Yeah, what do you mean specific? Like, you mean with this, or?
Yeah, with this, it was supposed to be a canon event that Tommy and Kim were supposed to get together, but when you change it up, like in the Spider-Man Across the Multiverse, if you don't let it happen, it's not gonna it'll change everything else. So like, maybe the show would have been better if Kat never would have gotten with Tommy.
Maybe. I mean, the thing that I find funny is that, at least with my own experience with relationships, I find Kat and Tommy to make way more sense on an actual chemistry level than Tommy and Kimberly, because Tommy and Kimberly, pretty much from the moment they saw each other, Kimberly was into him. And so they never really developed a friendship. They were just always dating.
Yeah.
And then, they had this kind of traumatic experience of being Rangers together. And then as soon as she left, she's like, I'm done with you. I don't, and then Kat went through the same things that Tommy did as far as being controlled by an evil, person. And I feel like all the stuff that Kimberly was like, she wants to go do the Pan Global Games. Kat had already done that. She had already she'd already experienced the world and was ready to settle down. And I feel like for Tommy, that makes way more sense to be with Catherine than to be with Kimberly.
Well, Tommy also moved around a lot too as a kid, and
military
stuff, and came from a broken family, and crazy shit. Yeah.
If you think about it, though, if Tommy would have stayed with Kim, they would have been locked up in Divatox's ship in the ocean. Rocky would never have gotten hurt. Rocky then would still be the Red Turbo Ranger. Bam. Power Ranger solved. Rocky, there you go.
There you go. That's right.
It. That's all we need.
Rocky Greatest Ranger.
Greatest
right.
Ranger.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't dived into that per se, but I do really feel like, Jason David Frank is obviously the most famous Power Ranger of all time. But I kind of feel like had they brought someone else in to be the White Ranger, it might have changed the fan. Like in the long run, it might have been better because there's a lot of people who just go, I don't care about anything in Power Rangers but Tommy. That's all I care about. And it almost, I feel like over the 30 years, it's almost more of a detriment than it was helpful. I know there's a lot of people probably like, that's stupid, but I feel like,
I was going to say, there's been a topic going around lately that I've been following, and it's what was Tommy Oliver doing inside of his in Dino Thunder? What was he doing in his like workspace? Because now they're starting to question. It's like Power Rangers has a lot of plot holes.
yes.
Now they're like, what was Dr. Oliver actually doing down there?
Yeah, well, and I have this is an older video I did a long time ago, but the whole what's really interesting because I'm looking at Megaforce right now, of course, and Super Megaforce. They have some of the Sentai suits that were never used, and they have those, and there's a lot of people who got kind of upset about that. Like, why did they put those in there? They shouldn't have done that. Yeah. But there's an episode of Dino Thunder where Kira is like going through files with him, organizing his desk, and all the Sentai suits that were used in Super Megaforce, he has a file on them on his desk, coincidentally.
Oh.
And so it shows there's something to which he was
working on.
Yeah, he was researching or finding something out about these other teams that were never seen on Earth, as said in Super Megaforce. So I have a whole theory on that I did. That was, I don't know, that was the first year I started doing my channel, but it was, I mean, it's interesting because it does kind of tie together, even though, Power Rangers has so many plot holes, but it actually connects somehow. So
it ties a little bow on it and like,
yeah.
You're doing just fine.
And with like the Boom Studio comics, the Prism Rangers, I think, was one that they died in the comics, and I can't remember what the other one was, but both of the teams that are presumed to be dead from the comics were the ones that he threw in the trash bin in that episode.
What?
Yeah. So I don't know if Boom knew that and they did that very specifically, or if that was a coincidence.
To be fair, Boom is on like almost always on point. Like,
yeah,
their writers
are
are
really good,
really into the show.
Yes,
like,
they
really
are.
into it.
Yeah, that's what we need, though. We need someone who actually wants to do it.
We need a team of people entirely dedicated to continuity of Power Rangers. We need a Marvel continuity team. Damn it.
Well, we need a who's a Dave Filoni for Star Wars.
Oh,
it's like we need a Dave Filoni who knows it so well, even though he doesn't get to do everything with Star Wars, so it doesn't always help. But
we should have like we need to have like a little scientist group, and then like you could like Casey, since you command the conspiracy theories channel, you could be like the Kramer. You could be the Kramer and like kicking the door, but like there was no Die Rangers. Yeah,
I would love to. I do kind of enjoy some of the. I did one fan fiction video that was about Kendall Morgan from Dino Charge meeting RJ from Jungle Fury. So the two Purple Rangers. And I have fun doing that. It's really a good time. But I should ask this. What's your guys' opinion on some of the fan films that come out with Power Rangers? Are you into any of them? Or are you kind of like, nah?
Nah, not really. I mean, I watch them because they're interesting. I like to see what these people come up with and like like they interpret it instead, like the Zenith films with Rail Riders. Yeah. I watched that one because it's actually interesting. Yeah, I like that one. I do like Unworthy. Unworthy's pretty good. I do like the one Christopher Kamen Lee's in, I think, too.
Oh yeah, the Bloodline.
Yeah, I like those.
Like I ain't yucking anyone's yum. I'm like, have fun with it. Like if you're doing it, have fun.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not gonna go on my way to watch it. Like, if it doesn't come across my feed, I'm not gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, oh, cool, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. They're interesting because what's funny about I'm doing these breakdowns of the seasons of Megaforce right now, and the things that people say about Megaforce or Super Megaforce, like all they do is rely on the action footage, and they don't, there's no real storyline. But then I sit there and go, that's basically like every fan film is just there's no storyline at all. It's just action. And
that's all.
And they throw in some curse words here and there and it just kind of takes me out of it. It's like Power Rangers doesn't curse. Like,
it
stop.
needs to be like I want one really dark one, like a super dark one, but no one's made a really dark one yet. Like just like like cancer or like death or something like creeping away at humanity. Like just make it kind of fun. Do a full Breaking Bad like Power Rangers series.
Oh yeah.
I feel like every time I watch those fan films, they try to be dark, and it's always like it always starts off with like some guy who's like, "We thought we were going to protect the world, but we couldn't be any more effing wrong." And you're like, "Okay, God,
I don't need that. I just want someone to be like, I didn't really choose this; it chose me, and it's killing me, guys. It's killing me."
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
They don't do a lot of like they don't throw any comedy in most of the time.
Yeah.
There's a couple that do, but they don't typically throw in comedy, and that's actually kind of a big part of Power Rangers.
Yeah,
is sort of the comical side of things, and they always want to just make it dark and darker and darker and darker. And
what about like a dark series of like Bulk and Skull? Be like when the world relied on two men, Bulk. Hey Bulk, what are we doing today? They thought the world was over.
Oh, no, it has to be, the world relied on two men and a skull. Like, Bulk, what are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah. When the world needed special needs friends.
I think they should have. When you start watching like that Christmas video I did of Zeo, Bulk and Skull's parts in that episode are hysterical. They are so funny. Like they're talking about they're doing the case of the missing fruitcakes, and then Skull goes like he goes, "My Aunt Millie likes fruitcakes, and I know you're going to need a crane to lift one of those things." And they look at him like, "What the heck?" And then they go, "Well," they're like, "Well, we know that the perpetrator liked fruitcakes, so what does that mean?" And then he goes, "That means the perpetrator's my Aunt Millie." And and Bulk's like, "Can you can it with Aunt Millie right now?" And it's it really is funny. Like that is hilarious. And I feel like the ratings were kind of going down at that point that people just stopped watching. But Bulk and Skull got funnier and funnier as they went through. The show.
First episode of Turbo, they were hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Like I'm gonna
on point.
I'm gonna hit a hot take right now. We might lose a lot of listeners over this.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm just Power Rangers got the cool suits, the Megazords, the weapons, the friendships, and everything. But Bulk and Skull held that thing together all the way through Lost Galaxy.
I'm done.
They really were a big part, and that's what every time I see fan films and stuff, it's like you got to throw in some comedy or the comic relief. You got to have something there. You can't just go, everything was so dark and everybody's in turmoil. It just, I don't know. It drives me nuts. It's like that's a lot of Power Rangers.
It's like you have to have a comedy. You have to have levity for your dark stuff. You have to have it. If you don't have it, it's not going to be any fun.
Well, it's like when things got dark. Hey, Skull, did you pay the light bill? Fruitcakes. Yeah.
Well, it's like RPM is the darkest, sort of the darkest.
But it has the funniest jokes in it.
It's got the funniest. And Ziggy is one of the funniest characters. And it's just this ranger who should not be a ranger.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious. And that's the thing is people, RPM is really dark, but it's also really, really funny. And people don't. They just want everything to be dark. And this is my personal take. We might lose listeners on this one too. That every time I watch a fan film and they throw in a bunch of curse words, it like Power Rangers isn't like that. And so like, if you watch, like how they keep making Batman like darker and darker, but Batman comics were dark. Like it did come from a source material that was dark. Power Rangers is not dark. And so when they try to make it like, oh, he was doing blow off the
toilet seat in a
an escort's body, and then he was like doing it's like, what, dude? It's just not. It's so out of the ballpark that it just does not fit to me.
What I really, 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 really want is like old Rangers who are just old and like they're taking painkillers. Like, oh damn it hurts, and like they're not disgruntled, but they're just tired. I want that. That's what I really, really want. Just old Rangers who are like, I'm done. And they're like, you can't be done. Okay, you ever seen a show called Gary and Your Demons?
Yes.
No. Okay, so it's this old guy named Gary who is
the show is so good.
Who is fighting demons, but like everyone cycles out at a certain age, and they have never found his replacement. So he's like 50, and everyone else around him's like 12. And he's like, I hate this shit so much.
It's like,
but he's really, really good at it. But he hates his life. But like,
I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's Gary and His Demons. It's hilarious.
Like, but when he transforms, he gets armor, and when he's transformed, he's like singing to himself, but he's like monotone as hell. He's like, Gary's armor. Just
I'll have to look that up. I've never heard of this.
It's like the best show ever.
It's fantastic. But like, I wasn't like that where like it's funny and they make fun of it, but like they're older and like they're just done. They're just checked out.
Yeah, I was talking about this with someone the other day that honestly, the reboot, the greatest example of a reboot is like Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
It's single-handedly, because you bring in the older people or the returning people, and then you bring in new characters that people can get attached to. And that's what they need to bring in, probably some of the old cast as full-time characters, but then like with Once and Always is a good example. It just should have been more than just one episode. If they would have had it be a whole like 10 episode series and built this Min character, people would get attached to that character. And then they're watching for more than just the original people. They're getting attached to the new people. And Cobra Kai is like, it's the greatest. I don't know. To me, it's like the perfectly written show. It's like perfectly done.
I haven't seen the remake, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Oh, but you haven't seen Cobra Kai?
Not the new one.
Oh, it's good. And I mean, I'm not even like a massive Karate Kid fan by any means, but it's so well done. But I think that Power Rangers really should go that direction. Like have a young group of Rangers being mentored by the older Rangers, and build that storyline between the two, and I think that would bring people in. But
that'd be interesting.
That's kind of what I want. I really want that for Power Rangers. It'd be great. Older Rangers who are like helping kids out, or helping they're like, oh yeah, you shouldn't do this. Why? Because it's gonna ruin your life. What's gonna ruin your life? It'll be a Power Ranger. It's gonna ruin your life. You're gonna hate it. Give it 3 years.
I would love to see like an older Adam like training somebody, and then in the background you might see like the broken morpher in a case or something.
Oh, cool.
That'd be awesome.
And he's taking aspirin every time they're about to spar. He's like, "Oh, give me a second."
He's got the KT tape and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Venture Bros?
I haven't. No.
Damn it. Okay.
I've seen a couple
episodes. So this older
I barely watch anything but Power Rangers.
Okay, Casey. This makes more sense. Okay, so this older lady who's the mom of one of the heroes, and I use that word very lightly, and her son's villain breaks into their house, and he's like, "I'm here for your son," and he's like, "Oh, you want my son? I'm gonna whoop your ass till my arthritis kicks in. I just took my Humira." And it's the funniest scene in the whole episode. Like the whole episode is great,
but the guy who talks
always sticks with me.
The guy who says that, he has like a lisp, so it's like really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, just took my
It's like, and I just took my Humira.
yeah.
But like with something like that would be great. Like I would love to see like these newer characters, right, showing up, and like you have these old characters in the background who like just kind of go in and out of the story and like sage wisdom and like kind of funny moments and like kind of point them in the right direction kind of thing. Something like that.
Yeah.
I would love to have that. Love it. Oh, it would be fantastic. And it could be
Mhm.
funny or dark or like adult themed or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's more, stupid or funny or silly or serious or something, but like some more levity gets put into it. That would
Yeah.
be great.
Mm.
I just want Venture Bros Power Rangers. That's exactly what I want. That's all I want.
The crossover nobody needed, but we did
Nope.
it anyway.
Crossover I want it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping the reboot is good, but I'm always worried. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do with it.
We'll see.
There's a YouTube channel that I kind of started watching their live videos because they have like really interesting stuff, and it's super surreal.
First of all, you're watching other videos and Casey videos. What's wrong with
Hey,
you?
what the hell,
Casey,
man?
get him!
So they were in this. So I was watching, and they were interviewing. I forgot her name. She kind of headlines the Power Ranger toy line and stuff on Hasbro.
Oh, okay.
The blonde lady.
Yeah, it's the blonde lady.
I don't know her name either.
But they just basically, she confirmed that Hasbro is taking a year off from Power Rangers and the toy line.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what's his name? Entwistle?
Jonathan Entwistle. Yeah.
Okay, so he kind of dipped off and started another show, The Karate Kid.
Oh, really?
So now the question is, do you think the reboot's happening, or have they pushed it off? What is your opinion on the future of Power Rangers?
That worries me. I didn't know that he had started something else, because that worries me a bit, because he's supposed to be the guy.
The strike, the writer strike and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So he left and went to go do something else.
Oh, oh gosh. Yeah, it scares me. I don't know. Power Rangers has always been that, like small, like they've always been small compared to all the other franchises after the 90s. And it worries me that that sort of thing is going to happen, where they're just, someone gets an offer, they're going to take off somewhere else, and then Power Rangers is just going to scramble to try to figure out how to do this. And I mean, the sad thing to me is, like, there's so many fans who would, like, I know that, we're not like executive producers, but my gosh, it's like you could get people to help you do this and build a great universe and everything, but they're just not gonna. They're gonna find somebody who doesn't even care about Power Rangers and say, "Hey, you want a promotion? If you do this, this will get you, to a higher position, or this is going to get you farther in your career."
Yeah,
and then they'll do it as a stepping stone and not like something they really, really want to do.
I feel like that's what they did with the Lightning Collection, is that they hired these people with degrees and backgrounds for that specific job, but not the pertain of the. They had the information for that job, but they didn't have the information for the toys or the show itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what a lot of the QC issues came with, like missing parts and, not right designs on the belts. So.
Like,
yeah.
The QC part, that's where it's being made at. And that was in the Philippines was being made at?
Vietnam.
Vietnam, yeah.
Yeah.
So that comes down to production. But you it's not quality control. Like, it's not the people who make it's not the people who are approving the toys. Their problem was they don't care for the show. They're like, which one can we make the easiest? Like, which one might have the best, probably the best. Look at the last couple that came out. It was Tommy, the Finishing of the Lost Galaxy, and like one Turbo Ranger.
Yeah.
And that's
the ones we're going to sell.
It's like, where's, I keep waiting for him to do Jungle Fury. It's like, when are you doing Jungle Fury, man?
But that was a Disney. I want an RPM. Like, I want more RPM. We got one RPM.
Yeah, I know. That's what Yeah, I don't know. And they just don't see. I think the other thing Power Rangers really needs is we need an animated series so bad. And I used to not be a supporter of that, but we need to have some sort of series that has no limitations on what we can do, so that if we want to bring, this, if you want to bring back this random character for a couple episodes, it's easy to do because all you have to do is either call up the actor and say, "Hey, you need to get you to a studio and record these lines."
That's
And
it.
Yeah.
that's
Or
it. And then
find
they
someone who
can
sounds
animate it.
enough like him, no one's gonna notice it.
Yeah, and they could
Yeah.
just do that too. But I think they also need a kids animated series.
Mhm.
I mean, my kids watch the Spidey and the His Amazing Friends,
Yeah.
and that, I mean, why, I don't know. It's like I don't even really watch Spider-Man or been into Spider-Man,
Yeah.
but because that show's accessible for him, he'll watch it. And
They,
so
they did it with Star Wars too. Like,
yeah, they're doing the
young
same
Star
thing.
Wars,
Yeah, they're doing
young
the same
Jedi,
thing.
young Jedi.
And
They did that with Star Trek as well.
yep, they're doing that
And
with
then
Star Trek.
they did that with Bluey.
Dude, Bluey. I'm just gonna be honest with you, dude. My son watches Bluey, or my kids watch Bluey. It may be the greatest show of all time.
Dude, I've watched all of
Hands-
Bluey. It's beautiful.
Hands down. I mean, and I'm saying this as a massive, diehard Power Ranger fan. Probably the greatest show ever written.
Dude,
It's just so incredible.
I have dolls, like we have like stuffies of the whole
Yeah.
family.
Oh
The
yeah.
whole family was stuffed with the whole family, and I'm getting stickers for Bandit, Chili, the girls, and Muffin. And I'm
Oh,
putting
yeah.
in the car. Oh yeah,
It's-
it's happening. Muffin is an agent of chaos. I love her to death.
Yeah. No, they just dropped the 10 episodes, at least in America, and
Yeah.
we've been.
You watch that last one with the cricket episode,
Oh my gosh.
right? You almost cried, right?
Oh, of course I did. It was, dude, it's
God,
incredible. It's like, it's just so good. I saw there was an article on Google that just said, "We're so proud of Rusty."
Oh yeah,
That was the article title.
That was it.
We're so proud of Rusty. It's like he's an animated dog, but it's so true. It's so good. But I mean, but that's that's what I love, is that there's some emotion. Like, it's silly and it's good for kids, and that's the same thing as like Power Rangers. That there's comedy. It's
they
silly
can
for
do that.
kids. It's great, and then bring home those like adult themes a little bit that connect with the older audience.
Yeah.
Like they need to kind of do the same thing, because Power Rangers is in that weird place where it's technically a kids show, but all these kids, people have grown up with it, and they kind of want something more adult, but not something gross.
Yeah.
And
It's in like a teenager purgatory.
yes,
Preteen.
yeah, that's a
Preteen
good way of
purgatory.
putting it.
Preteen purgatory. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 9 to 12 like kind of area, and that's where
Yeah.
it's staying at. And it's like, come on, we can do so
Yeah.
much better. Like you can
Yeah.
make stuff for like 4 to 6, and you can make stuff from like 17 to 19.
Yeah.
And like they're not
Yeah.
doing that. And I'm not
They're not
like,
capitalizing
I don't
off of the
hate
market.
Power Rangers for it, but like, come on, guys, get it together.
Yeah.
Like, I want to
Well,
have more fun with my show.
Yeah, well, and that's why, like, have I ever told you my animated kids series idea for Power Rangers? Maybe.
No. Go ahead. Go on.
This is my honest. This is what I think they need to do, because most of these shows have 3 characters as the main characters, and that's kind of how they do it. I think they need to have Power Rangers, the animated series, Dino Zoo, and it needs to be Kendall Morgan is the lead character, and then it's Coda and Ivan. Because Coda's the caveman, silly, Ivan's silly, talks like an old knight, and they run a zoo of dinosaurs. And then whenever they're like, oh man, something's going on with the T-Rex. Oh, hey, Connor from Dino Thunder. Like, they need to have this series where they can bring on random characters, and they go fight, have like Scrozzle or something be a villain that keeps trying to mess things up in their city, and they just have to go fight him.
But they got to look like the characters, like they got to be portrayed like the kids off of Spidey's Friends.
Yeah, they need to be kind of that
like
animated, cartoony looking sort of thing. But I think that if they did that, it would be so cool, because then anybody could just guest star on it.
Mhm.
Anytime they could say, oh, we got some tigers coming in. Oh, we're gonna, oh, it's Casey from Jungle Fury.
Yeah.
They could do that, and then and that would build. I mean, you could sell all the toys. You
Oh
could
yeah.
sell all
Yeah.
the toys, and then
You can run through a couple like the first seasons, who's like the fan favorite, and like kind of
Yeah.
focusing on
Yeah.
them. And,
Yeah,
I mean, hell,
you
you
could
could
make
have
so
a
much money out of this.
you could have a whole episode dedicated to Dylan trying to find his sister that's lost in the zoo.
that would be so great. Yeah,
Not gonna lie to you, like you're onto something there. It could totally work.
it would
Hold on,
be,
let me soak this moment in. Jim just acknowledged me that I have a good idea. Hold on.
That's
Not ever gonna happen again. I'm gonna cut it from the recording too, so you'll never hear it.
Oh my god.
it's
Okay.
so they need something, because like, I mean, that show Spidey and His Amazing Friends, like that pays for pretty much all the Spider-Man merchandise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
On its own. And so if Power Rangers was selling kids toys like to little kids, and then we can have more of the family series that's more for, honestly, if they would just have it be like Zach and Min as kind of the main characters, and it's
Yeah.
this relationship between him kind of being her sort of father, adopted father and stuff, and they could have great funny moments, and then at the end have some really heartfelt thing happen
Mhm.
that that'll get the parents really attached, but also be fun for the kids. I mean, I don't know, I keep thinking like, Netflix, why are you not turning this into your Marvel or your
Kids
Star
show
Wars?
that's
Yeah.
based on the kids. So like, okay, hear me out. Kids
I'm hearing
show
you.
based on the kids who are the kids of Power Rangers, and
Yeah.
they get in trouble and they have to help their parents all the time. Not all the time,
Yeah.
but like it happens more often than not. Or one like, okay, like a show like Bluey, right, where the parents' job is kind of there, but it's in the background.
Yeah.
Same
Right.
Yeah.
concept where the parent thing's kind of the background, but it's mostly a kid show. It's like about like adult stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's there, but like just hints here and there. Like so, it's like, oh hey, what happened to Rita this week?
Yeah.
Oh, blah 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 blah. This
And it could be called Kids of the Grid.
Ooh,
There you go.
that's
Another
good.
one. That's another one.
Trademark
Power
that
Rangers,
right now.
Kids of the Grid.
Uh-huh.
And I wish we could just, I don't know, I wish that Hasbro could just be like, hey, look at these people having ideas, and if we get maybe a couple like professionals to sort of clean it, make sure it's like actually gonna, not so these people like fans don't go too crazy off the deep end on something.
Right.
But I wish that they would do it and just say, all right, that's a cool idea. We
What's
could
your
pay some people to
ideas?
animate this,
Mhm.
and get it done. It's
Billy, tweet X at them with that.
Tweet who?
Tweet Hasbro with that. Be like,
Oh yeah.
kids
Yeah.
of the grids, man. Like a
I'll do
Bluey
that. I
show
got
about
you.
the kids of Power Rangers, and like the Power Rangers stuff's kind of the background, but they mostly talk about kid stuff. But like it's kind of like Bluey, where it's like more adult things. Like you can write paragraphs on Twitter now, right?
Almost. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got this. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got this in the back. We're fine.
I don't know. I see it and I think, if they don't want to do anything with it, like let somebody do
Yeah.
something with it.
Some people are having kind of thoughts that Hasbro might be going bankrupt.
Yeah,
'Cause
because they were
they just-
cutting employees and stuff. Yeah.
They have a whole Hasbro building that's just abandoned now. Like
Oh,
they pulled
jeez.
everyone. So it's
will
kind of a worrisome feeling.
Hasbro's been in the company, like been in the game for so long. They're never going to
So
go
long.
under. If
I don't think they will, but
if you want to invest, this is the time to invest in them. Like you're going to lose some money for about 6 months on them, but you're going to make a lot of money in the long
Mhm.
run.
Yeah. I wish that was something. It'd be so interesting if Power Rangers got like someone bought it, like
Yeah.
some guy who had a lot of money who's like, I love Power Rangers and I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy the franchise, and then just start outsourcing like to the fans, like to help. Let's build this. Let's do
well,
this.
if
you
you
know?
looked at McFarlane actually partnered with Hasbro to do Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and stuff. And McFarlane is actually like they listen to their fans. Like, what do you want next? And then McFarlane will actually make it or try to make it. And I feel like this might be a turning point to see that like Hasbro's like, well, this is what's selling for McFarlane, and like let's create now our own.
Yeah. I would hope so. I don't know. I just think there's so many things they could be doing, and they're just not doing anything with it,
Mm. Twiddling
And
thumbs.
yeah. I mean, and it's it's obvious that my kids watch all those shows, PJ Masks, uh,
Mm.
it's like there's like this show Dino Ranch.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
all these different shows that are just, and the thing that ticks me off is that they're basically a copy of Power Rangers, most of them. They kind of go with the whole, like Paw Patrol. Have you ever watched Paw Patrol?
Yeah.
Ever seen it? Paw
I've seen
Patrol
in a
is
movie.
6 dogs. So basically a Power Ranger team, all with different sort of specialties. And then there's this, their writer, this boy is in charge of them. And he's basically their Zordon. He tells them what to do. He like, okay, we're going to go save this person. We're going to do this, this, and this. And then they get in this, like big, like bus that's driven by a robot dog, just like Alpha. And it's like the whole thing is like, this is literally Power Rangers with dogs. Like that's what this is. And they,
Damn. Some of the fights must be a little rough.
Yeah, it's not like an action fighting show, but it's kind of that concept though, like that teamwork concept that sort of came with Power Rangers, really. And I don't know.
Have like a Power Rangers like a Bob's Burgers as Power Rangers, where like the whole team is Ziggy's. Like you have a whole team of Ziggy's and one Dylan.
A whole team
and
of
they're
Ziggy's.
Just odd. They're all odd. They're all weirdos. But you have like the one Dylan who's just up like grumpy, like it's Bob, and everyone else is Ziggy's. Everyone else is Ziggy's.
Yeah.
So one of our friends, Ty, with his podcast, the Tiger Nexus Project or podcast, he actually poses a question at the end of his episode that I kind of find very interesting. Is like he would say, if you could put Ziggy in any other Power Ranger series, which series would you put Ziggy in?
Ooh, that's interesting.
And like, what Ranger would you swap him out for? And I was like, I would swap him out for Coda, and put him in Coda's situation.
That would be funny. Like, is it like? Oh, I'm trying to think. That's very interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why my first thought is Samurai, only because they're also like they're trained from birth. And they're very serious. And then Ziggy coming in just be like, "Hey guys, sorry, I kind of broke that vase out there, but he would be so funny because he actually does well as a ranger, but he's just completely like he has no discipline.
He's a klutz.
He's a klutz. They would be so annoyed with him, like, oh, this guy.
I could see him coming in with like the black box and 2 pieces. He's like, sorry.
Yeah,
hey
but
guys,
then he would still help them. So
Yeah.
they'd be like, "Oh, he's still a good ranger, even though he's just like a mess."
And then G would have an aneurysm.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it would be really funny. He would be in a Lightspeed Rescue. What do you mean we're fighting demons? Demons
Oh
don't
my
exist.
God.
Robots, you mean? Demons. What?
Yeah. Oh my God.
When the cyborg rangers come in, he's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna warn you guys. This is not a good road to go down. All right."
Yeah.
Like, no, please don't do this.
It's like I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've seen this before, guys. I feel like I had some first-hand experience with this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do not recommend it.
Dear God.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm hoping that something good comes out of Power Rangers here in the future.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be its own thing. It's gotta wait and see kind of thing.
Yep. But in the meantime, we're getting some pretty good shows coming out too, so I'm pretty content with not having a Power Ranger series around.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we're getting Go Loser Rangers here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah.
It's if you read the description for it, it's kind of crazy. I'm looking forward to it. Like one of the bad guys' kids become like a Power Ranger, and tries to take down the organization from the inside because the the Rangers themselves have become so corrupt. That,
it's kind of like
it's
the
no
boys.
longer it's no longer
like
viable to be a bad guy.
Oh, interesting.
So it's kind of take them down the inside kind of thing. So it's going to be like invincible for it's not invincible, but what's another show like that? It's not super dark, but it's gonna be like, the boys.
Oh,
It's gonna be the boys of Power Rangers.
yeah. Or
Interesting.
Gen
Yeah.
V at least. Gen V of the
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is his? And we got
you seen Gen V yet?
I watched a few episodes of it.
Oh,
I don't know. I watched all of The Boys so far, and then I don't know. I do have a hard time with some stuff that's like I don't know. I don't have a problem with things that are like inappropriate or more. I don't mean it. You know what I mean? Like a little more crude.
right.
But there's just times where like I'll be watching it and then I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just not in the mood for this. Like,
Right.
not that it's bad or it's poorly written
I
or
will
anything.
say,
But
I will say, every scene Carl Urban's in as Billy the Butcher is fantastic.
oh, yeah, he's amazing. He is really
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
man.
Hands
Yeah.
down, best. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, did you watch Ahsoka?
Oh yeah, I watched Ahsoka.
Oh,
Balin, right? Balin.
Balin's
Balin's-
Skull.
Yeah. I thought
it's amazing. Holy Jesus.
What's so funny is that I thought that was a great series.
I did.
And some
Yeah.
of the other
was
Star Wars
fun.
series I haven't been like super that into, but that one I thought was so good. And there's so many reviews online of people just
trashing.
trashing it, and they're like, "Oh, it's just all these women," and it's
Oh.
like, "Yeah, but did you watch Rebels?" Like,
Yeah.
they're not just random characters they made up. They have like great backstory.
Yeah, they have
And
these super deep, amazing backstories. Congratulations,
Yeah.
you're an idiot.
So
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of Ahsoka, and I was like so confused. And Jim's like, "You got to watch Rebels." So I started going through Rebels, and then it all makes sense.
Dude,
Yeah.
Rebels is one of those two that I won't
Rebels is
say
beautiful.
the ending, but it like, oh man,
Yeah, and this is
I
actually
was torn up at the end of that.
and after watching Rebels, it hit me that my spirit animal is a droid. So Chopper's my spirit animal.
Dude, Chopper is the best. Like, I love Chopper.
Chopper is legitimately like a villain.
He's a
Yeah.
psychopath. He's like,
Yeah.
he's just like, I can't remember. Isn't there a thing where there's like, I don't know, they're like, we can't, like, they have a bomb or something. I can't remember specifically, but they're like, oh, we got to get it away from the city, and he's like, who cares? Like, drop,
Yeah.
I don't give a crap. Drop it on. But he's like talking in his droid talk, so
Yeah.
it's just like, but it like translates to him just being like, yeah,
nowhere.
drop it on him. I don't care. They can die.
He's like, what?
So they sell a bobblehead of Chopper at Walmart for like $15, and you press his head and he makes the noise. But if you shake him, he freaks out. He's like, it's the
he's
best.
a fun character. See, but he's like I don't know. He's a good character. He's fun, and it's sort of a play on like the typical droid who's perfect and just follows orders, and he's just like, let's kill everybody, woohoo! It's like
yeah,
kind of funny.
Oh my god.
I have no concern for human life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those laws of robotics.
So
no.
I'm mad at myself because when I went to that con on Saturday, I stopped at Target because now I stop at Targets before I get there because I've been having really good luck with finding things. So I stopped and I found the Balin Skull and Shin Tati Funko Pops, and I should have bought them. I should have bought them right then and there, and I didn't because now I can't find them anywhere.
Yeah.
I am so mad at myself.
Shame on
me.
buddy.
Shame.
Same thing with me
I
and the
know.
Black Suit Spider-Man, like giant, not giant, like larger collection piece. I saw it. I was like, I'll get it later. I walked off and I walked back and it was gone. I was like, damn it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yep.
I know. We had a Comic-Con locally, and I walked in, and this guy, I had a Power Ranger shirt on. This guy walked up to me and goes, I just got this Saba for like $20. And I'm like, dang it.
You start pulling your own Saba out. Like, I'm gonna murder this guy.
I wish I had one, man. I wish I had. Do you ever have? Oh, sorry. Do you ever have like? I remember a friend I grew up with who had one.
Yeah,
and they never like messed. They weren't really into Power Rangers, but they had one, and I'm always like, man, I wish I could have that. But they probably got rid of it.
We had the little small ones, like they little pocket knife size ones.
Oh yeah,
we had those, but we grew up with someone who had like all the Megazords and like all like everything.
Oh yeah.
And but to be fair, they were like into Power Rangers, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Like it was fun to hang out with them. But yeah, they had everything. We were super mad at it. They had all the like they had the original the first Turbo Megazord. I love that Megazord.
Mm-hmm.
It was die cast. It was die cast metal. It was heavy and it looked great. It still looks great. I don't care. It looks fantastic.
You know, for the people who hate on Turbo, they have some awesome Megazords in that season.
Right?
Oh,
because the first one's awesome, and then they had the one that, like, okay, in Zeo we had the Super Zeo Megazord, which was cool because they were all like individual, like humanoid sort of Megazords. I guess sort of like the Shogun Zords, but these like they were humanoid, but they also transformed into individual cars, and then also formed a Megazord. It was like the coolest thing.
3-parter, man. Like every one of them had three pieces. Oh, so cool.
I know, it's amazing.
Good times. You want to do a few more minutes, and then we'll cut into an ad break, and we'll go home.
Now a word from our sponsor.
Zalpha's. Oh my god.
Hello there, listener. Are you a nerd or a geek? Well, I've got a podcast for you. Introducing Neek Talk, the podcast where all things nerdy and geeky takes center stage. Dive into epic discussions on comics, gaming, movies, and more. Join us for a nerdtastic journey every other week. Neek Talk, where your neek is at home.
Oh, hell.
That, actually.
I guess Willie got his stuff in the mail because he just tagged us in it.
Oh, man.
So one of our friends, he does cosplay, and he lives in Iowa.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, guys, what would you guys think if I made like an Amazon wish list? And me and Jim, we're real supportive people. So he made this Amazon wish list and everything, and me and Jim actually went on there, and we both bought him something for his cosplays.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're nice ladies.
Yeah, he's in Iowa. See, he's pretty close to me. Then I need to see if he's going to a Comic-Con or something and try to.
Ooh.
I don't get to go to a lot, but
yeah. I think the last one he did was like Ames.
Yeah,
yeah.
I tell you what, though, we have we do. I mean, I don't know when it's going to be possible, but one of these days. We all have to either go to like Ranger Stop or Power Morphin or something. All the like,
yes,
because I want to go to one so bad, but it's like it's going to be a little bit of an investment to go.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to do it. Yeah,
but if we did one of those, like I've always seen people, they have like these music conventions, and all the music like YouTubers, they all get like an Airbnb together.
Yeah.
So hell no.
everybody's pay, like everybody only pays like $100 or something for the whole entire week or whatever, because they all split it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. We gotta do that. So that would be amazing.
I'm bringing a rice cooker.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. And I'm bringing the rice.
And I was gonna bring everything else. No, like literally, a friend of ours got us a rice cooker, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like a really nice one. I was like, oh, this is kind of like, I could not pronounce the name of it. And she's like, oh yeah, it's a pretty good one. I was like, okay, I looked it up. It's like one of the highest rated ones in China. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow. Nice.
Okay, so I'm sitting there, and like the plug, right? The plug for it. Okay, so it's like it's a countertop like appliance, right?
Yeah.
The plug for it, you pull and it retracts. It's a retractable plug.
Yeah.
We need more things with that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Funny. That's amazing.
God. I am so mad. I was like, why can't I have more of these? Oh well. Anyways, Anywhoozle. All right. Word from our sponsors is over with. Let's go to the ending, Billy. Billy! Don't you snap at me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Zeo to Hero with Billy and Jim. And our special guest, Casey. Not really special because he's our stunt double. And Casey, hit him with the springboard at front roll on this audio podcast only. I don't know what I went on there, but that was magical.
Thank you. That was pretty good. My back. Okay.
But thanks again, Casey, for joining us tonight. Let the people know where they can find you at.
I am on YouTube at the Mighty Morphin Conspiracy Theories, and then I'm also on TikTok as Mighty Morphin Conspiracy. So you can check it out.
All right. Well, Jim, any last words on this episode where we just tried to fix Power Rangers for an hour?
Hasbro, if you do fix Power Rangers within our ideas, please get in contact with us. We have more ideas that will be very, very supportive of your ongoing G.I. Joe ideas and fantasies you have about combining with Transformers. My thing to tell you is don't do it. Don't. Keep them separate. Keep them separate. You idiots. No, I don't want no G.I. Joe in my Transformers. That don't work. G.I. Joe is human versus human. You can't be human versus robot. No,
all right.
Get the hell out of here.
All right. I think you should cut it like mid argument right there, like the mid Sopranos.
Chanting over your Tatums.
The personal trying to think what the right phrase is. Yeah. The personal opinions of Jim do not apply to
Yeah, for real.
I just slap you like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Do you want to be a hero, but you're not? Do you want to be a Jiro or a Kojiro, but you can't because you're not Japanese? Have you considered Zeo to hero? Remember, heroes come and go. Idiots are forever. Jimbalee!
I did just have I had one of those. I had the Lightspeed Rescue. I don't remember what the name of it, but it was like a red jet that the Red Ranger had that flew.
Oh yeah.
And I was proud because every time I see it online, there's like all the missiles are missing from it, the shoulders.
Yeah.
And my son shot one down our vent, and
I
was like, oh man,
never gonna see that again.
There that goes. Yeah.
Oh no.
And we're moving houses in about 2 weeks, so it's gone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty much gone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I was so proud of myself. I still had them. And
if you need a shoulder to cry on, don't look at us. Okay, we're not the ones. All right.
Nah, yeah, it sucks, but it's cool to see them play with them. So it's like, all right, well, I'll take it.
This is the Zeo to Hero podcast.